I practice expressing my thoughts as much as possible. I try to do this whenever I could. I remember being really nervous for my interviews. I interviewed at modeling college, where I had two interviews. Actually, I had two more interviews, one at Martin College and one at STUH, which is where I am now. And during these four interviews, I saw many interesting questions. One really interesting question I saw was a question about cubes and the number of varieties a cube has. Well, 3 dimensions, 4 dimensions, and even higher dimensions. And it didn't stop there. We also discussed how many edges there are in this dimension, and we tried to find a formula for each one of these. I thought it was quite interesting. There were also very hard questions. One particular question I remember is I was asked to sketch the normal distribution, which was like bell curve, and I was asked to sketch its derivative by I and its derivatives as well. So two derivatives. That was easy now, you just get it. And then he asked me,
Do I notice anything about the number of turning points and the number of reads as we go down? And then notice that the difference each time the number of reads and the number of turning point increased by. And then the question was given to me. Can you prove the formula is true? And then was really difficult. I was really stumped at the beginning and actually I didn't know what to say. But luckily for me, the interviewer has given me a prompt. He gave me a hint about some theory that is really useful for this. I immediately managed to use this hint and then go on to answer the question. I thought I was really scary at first, but really rewarding at the end. I didn't get anything about my personal statement in interview, which I thought it wasn't too strange. I suppose they thought it wasn't really interesting at the interviews.
I think that interviewers really like to see me struggle through the question because they want to see how I think. They want to see the further in which I go about a question. So they were little like giving me difficult question so that I just struggle with it and the word after giving it to see if I can cooperate with them if I do to enter the university to prepare for the interview. I kept that in mind. I practiced expressing my thoughts as much as possible. I did this by speak outline when I'm by myself, answer a math question. I tried to do this whenever I called. Well, I've mentioned that I tried to speak my thoughts as much as possible. Rather than that, I was really kept on solving maths BMO question, Brett's maths Olympiad question.
I feel like that helped out a lot my problem solving skill. It gave me a good intuition on how to solve questions. And I think it made me a better problem solver all around. I did mock interview with my teacher. They were quite kind enough to do the session with me. They emphasized that I should be speaking my thoughts out as much as possible, even when I was struggling to come up with an answer. They encouraged me time and time again to try to give suggestions as how to solve the problem. For example, maybe we can solve this by induction, even though you are not sure how you will do that and so on. I did this thing quite often. I did it about 2 times a week with my teacher. This mock interview. This other thing I've mentioned, I try to keep them on getting in the background as I prepare for my interview.